So we still need to do did we finish the roll call for the doors?
No, we haven't done it.
Okay, so I'll just get my last comment. My last comment on that. There's a major equity issue, okay? Until you could get all of our basics, our essentials, like our phones, our cameras working, and figure out how we're gonna pay a $75 million debt. We don't know how. Does anybody know how we're gonna pay $75 million? No, okay. So until we can get the basics down, we can't spend $250,000 additionally. Now, if we save the $250,000, please take it and run. So can we get a vote, please?
I just want to say one thing about you're saying not be able to pay it back. The district would not have been able to secure the loan unless it actually showed that it could pay it back.
Yeah.
So let's be clear about that. It's not that, again, the district had demonstrated that it would have the capability of doing it, because otherwise what lender would
Yeah.
make a loan to somebody that cannot pay it back? Right?
Yeah, at that time we had $45 million in savings, and so I'm sure it looked a lot more appealing, but now we're in a deficit, and that's not the case.
Can we also be very clear about whether we had a collateral on that loan or not? Manoush, was there a collateral on that loan?
Mr. Chowdhury?
Yeah, there is a collateral in the role. It's in the official documents. The Willow Adult Education Center is the collateral.
What were the two schools that were collateral?
The Willow Adult Education Center,
Adult ed.
Will Adults, was there any other school?
not that I
Willow.
know of at this point of time.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ms. Loera. Thank you for raising your hand and following
Are we
appropriate
in a
protocols.
deficit? Because you keep saying that we're in a deficit. Are we in a deficit, Manoj?
We already discussed this point of order. That's a whole separate budget. We had a whole presentation on the budget. It's not appropriate time. So is there any other questions?
You mentioned that we're in a deficit. I want clarification on what you stated.
And that's, we already went through this.
You stated there's a deficit, so I want clarification.
You approved the $90 million deficit, you should know.
I have a question. I have a question.
Mhm.
You keep saying we're in a deficit. I want clarification on my question.
Go ahead, Mr. De La Torre. She'll continue to do this.
I had the floor. I have a question, and then my question hasn't been answered yet. So you are interrupting me. I'm still waiting for my question to be answered.
Ms. Loera,
Yeah.
Serrano has recognized myself, superintendent, to be able to address the
Okay,
question.
thank
So if
you.
I have Mr. Chowdhury, please address the deficit question.
Thank you, Superintendent, and thank you, board members. So as I mentioned, we are not in a deficit, structural deficit. We are one-time deficit. That's usual for school districts which have received one-time COVID money to spend more than the revenue, because the COVID money had to be spent over multi-years. We are not looking at a structural deficit for this year, next year, but in 26, 27, we are moving into a structural deficit.
Thank you, Manoj, for
Great.
clarifying that we are not in a deficit.
So in 26, 27, are we at risk of having to lay teachers off? Oh, I can't,
Point
we
of
can't
order.
answer that. Oh,
Point of order.
I know, that's exposure to liability. Okay,
Yeah.
those are the real questions that grown-ups in the room need to ask, okay?
Roll call, please. Roll call, please.
Mr. De La Torre,
No.
Ms. Loera,
Yes.
Ms. Quinones,
No?
Mr. Quoc,
Yes.
Ms. Serrano,
No. Motion does not pass, 3-2.